Good afternoon, students. This is Renee Merrill from MIS 396W's Reporting Techniques at San Diego State University's College of Business. I am just putting together a short video to help guide you through different styling and formatting techniques that you'll need for your analytical report that's due next week. So today we're going to discuss just a few styling formatting techniques. We'll talk about how to format your margins, how to format spacing, how to add a table of contents, and then how to also add a cover page and then insert some page breaks so that you can reformat your page numbering according to the regulations shown in our book. So the first thing that we're going to do is look at our margins, and there's a couple ways that you can format your margins. The first one is you can go to the drop-down menu at the top of the page and you can just press Format and go to Documents. This will show you how to not only look at your margins but also look at the layout. But for the concerns of this video, we're just going to be looking at the different margins. Remember that technically and typically you will choose 1 inch for each margin, top, bottom, left, and right. Mine are already set accordingly, therefore you can press OK. The second point I wanted to talk about is spacing. And for spacing, what you can do is you can just select all of your information, and then you can simply go to Format Paragraph, or you can also do so in Document Elements. But let's go Format Paragraph. You'll see that line spacing is available. Select single as is stated in our analytical report. And then I always like to provide a little bit of spacing at the beginning and the ends of my paragraphs. You can choose 0 if you'd like. Press OK. You'll also see that as I was writing this document that I had included a space in between each of my paragraphs. Remember to do so when you're using block format and you have no indentation at the beginning of each paragraph. At this point, you've had obviously your executive summary written and then your paper thereafter. What I'd like to do at this time is show you how to add in a table of contents. And before even adding in the table, what you'll need to do is reformat your headings. So all of your main headings and all of your subheadings. The way to do that is just to select the actual title, and then you can go over here and choose this and select the style. Typically it will say paragraph or normal in the typical general settings. I've already changed mine to heading 1, but when you choose the drop-down menu, you have lots to choose from. So I don't want to reformat mine. Heading 1 is fine. Remember though, for each subheading you'll also want to choose a different type of style. For example, when I select my subheading, it shows up as heading 2. I highly recommend using heading 1, 2, and if you have an additional subheading, using heading 3, so that when you format your table of contents, you can easily remember which type of heading that you used. Once you've gone through the entire document and you've reformatted each of your headings, not only the main ones, but also the subheadings, don't forget to include references as well, as you would like them to show up in addition to all of the content on your table of contents. You'll just go to the top of the page above your executive summary, and you can either go Insert, Indexes and Tables. I'll provide you with this screen. Let's just press Cancel. Or you can also go to Document Elements, and you'll see that Table of Contents is also available. You can select Options and you will get the same screen. Depending on what version of Word you're using, this is 2011, it may be configured differently. Once you get to this drop-down screen, you can select different formats, and you can also watch the preview as you change different sections. So for me, I typically choose the classic format. You can choose a different one if you'd like, maybe modern or traditional, whatever you would like. I generally choose classic and use a tab leader of periods. Show levels. This tells them how many levels you would like to show in the table of contents. So if you have many subheadings and you have many different styles and many different treatments, then you might want to increase the levels. I believe I either have 2 or 3 as my headings, so I will leave that just as is. Remember that you also want to go into options and select the styles. For example, I've already set mine as the available styles as heading 1, 2, and 3, and I want them to show accordingly. For example, heading 1 is my first level of main headings, heading 2 is my subheading under the main headings, and then my sub-subheading is heading 3. This is fine for me. You may want to restructure yours depending on what styles were chosen. Press OK when you've finished, and remember that you do want to have checked Show Page Numbers as well as Right Align Page Numbers. You can deselect these and it will show you how it will look in the preview section, but the main purpose of your table of contents is to show people where they're going, and so the page number is adequate for that. If you do not right align the page numbers, it makes it harder to read, so make sure that you include that. Press OK when you'd like to format your table of contents. Okay. I typically at this point will write table of contents at the top of the page, and this will be my heading. Okay. You can also reformat your page if you'd like to not be in bold, be a different text size, that's fine. Remember that our table of contents will be on a different page as our executive summary, so you may want to just move that down. I highly recommend do not put a page or section break, as we'll be doing that in a moment, so just move that down. At this point you can add in your cover page. You can look under document elements, insert pages, and cover pages are available. You may choose whatever type of format you would like, and once you insert the actual page, I would go through and give your document a title, not just analytical report, but something along the lines of that. Make it a descriptive title. Go through. We don't need to do that now at this point in the video, but I did want to show you that you should be formatting that. After you've added your cover page and you have your table of contents, the next thing to do is make sure that your page numbers are showing up accurately. You can look at different page numbers by clicking twice or double clicking in the footer area. This will show you the footer and the header on each page. You'll see that all of them are showing up as section 1. If you haven't done any formatting, that's how they should appear. Okay? Our main concern is that we do want to have different sections so that we can use different page numbers. So click out of the footer, and then at the end of the first page, which will be your cover page, you will insert a page break. So you can see under document elements, it has insert pages, and you can click on the break. Okay? Because it's a section break and you want it to start on the next following page, you will choose underneath section breaks, next break. Okay. You'll see that your table of contents is on the next page. At that point, you can see if you double click in the footer that it will say section 1 for your cover page, and then it will say section 2 for the following pages. Okay. We also want to include another section. Okay, so if you click out of the header and the footer and you move down to the first page, okay, you should be including another page break. So go to the end of your executive summary, right? We have section 3 here. Include another break. I always do this at the end of the introduction page, the first page, as remember the first page and the second page have to be different. So you can also go insert I'm sorry. Yeah, you could go insert break, and then you could go section break next page. That's fine. And that will provide you with a new break. Remember that the cover page does not receive a page number, but the table of contents and the executive summary do. So you'll double click in the footer, make sure that your cursor is in the second section, section 2, and you'll see that it says same as previous. That links it to section 1's header. You do not want this to happen, so click on header and footer, and you'll see that there are different options. And it says link to previous. Deselect link to previous. This allows the section 2 to act differently from the first section. You can go insert and put page numbers. Click on formats. Remember that when we have any preliminaries that we need to address, they will be in Roman numeral. Lowercase Roman numeral. As you see, you have many options. So click lowercase Roman numeral. You do not want to continue from the previous section. And remember, you do not want to start with 1. You want to start with 2 or double I, so that takes into account that cover page. You want the number to show on the first page, so select that. You want it to show up in the middle, so just press OK. Great. So you see section 1's cover page, no number, and then you'll see for the second portion, table of contents is 2, and executive summary is 3. So let's move down to our third section, which would be section 3. We don't want it to be the same as previous, so make sure that your cursor is within section 3's footer, and then press link to previous, so that eliminates that link. There's already a page number showing up. I don't know if I had some formatting there already, so I'm just going to delete that. Also, same with section 4. Make sure that this is not linked to previous. So let's go back up to section 3. Remember that this is our first page, right? So no page number. As we move down to section 4, this is where we're going to want to include our page numbers that are in Arabic numerals. So you press insert, page numbers, and it will show up with the same prompt as last time. Go to format, make sure that you are using Arabic numerals 1, 2, 3. We're going to start at 2, just like last time. Press OK. You want the number to show on the first page because this is a new section, so it will start with 2. And you can align it on the right, as we talked about, that would be preferred. And then you'll see that all of your formatting of page numbers is consistent. So let's just scroll to the top and double check that. We have our cover page, which you will be formatting on your own. Then we have our table of contents. I would highly recommend changing this to heading 1 to match the others. And you'll see that inside our table of contents, maybe our page numbers have changed. What you can do is you can select the entire table, go to Document Elements, you can go to Table of Contents and press Update. You can update page numbers only, you can update entire table. I always say update entire table if you're not done writing the entire paper. I highly recommend waiting to do any of the formatting until that point when you are reaching the end. And just press OK. It does reformat a little bit, but you can do so accordingly as well. You'll see that our page numbers have stayed the same, right? We've changed a little bit in our formatting, and then we can see that the introduction starts accordingly. Okay? So there you have it. I hope that this helps in any sort of formatting style guide that you may need for the analytical reports. And if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to email. Have a great afternoon.